Head, neck, backbone straight. Let us take a deep, slow, conscious breath. Withdraw the mind from all that has happened in the past, keeping only the learnings with us. Let us withdraw our mind from all future anxieties, worries, present tensions and confusions, and strive to keep as far as possible the mind in the present moment without getting distracted, disturbed. Single pointed, pure. Still body, cheerful mind, clear intellect is the instrument we have to strive to prepare. And then God graces us, blesses us. So let us invoke God's grace and Guru Parampara's blessings by chanting loudly together. Om. Om. Om Sana Bhavatu Sanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः चिन्मयं व्यापि यत् सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। श्रीवेदव्यासाय नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। हरि ओम।
Hari Om. Thank you, Manisha. So let us go back 5,500 years back to Hastinapur and see what happened. So last time we saw the training is completed of Kauravas and Pandavas. And Dronacharya also has completed his vow by asking Guru Dakshina, which Arjun fulfills. So we have to make a mental note here that initially Karna and Duryodhan company goes, but they are defeated by Drupada army. Because this question many people have asked me also, especially some youngsters recently. Whom do you think was a better archer, better warrior? Now, there are many cases in Mahabharata where Karna was defeated with Yaksha. He ran away. Here, Drupada army, Drupad defeated him. In Virat, also Karna and Bhishma were all defeated by single-pointedly by Arjun. So this question is sorted out. Those who read properly the Mahabharata as it happened, as Ved Vyasji has told. And there, Drupada also loses his kingdom and then it is given back. So we saw that he vows that I want a boy to be born who will kill Dronacharya, and I want a girl to be born who will marry Arjun because Arjun defeats him. And then we saw he does yajna. And last time, I think one or two sadhaks were inquiring age difference between Arjun and Draupadi. So it has been said in this yajna they were born adult itself. They were not born children, Draupadi and Drishtadyumna. So maybe they were born as 10 to 12 years of age and Arjun was 15, 16 when he defeated. So the age difference between both of them was 4 to 5 years. And as Vaishali was mentioning, there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 where Drishtadyumna is Shishya of Dronacharya. So we can see the graciousness and how it happens. Because when you declare and do a yajna, then you have to declare why you are doing that yajna and the news spreads. So Dronacharya clearly knew that this yajna Drupada is doing for invoking a boy who will kill him. And the same Drishtadyumna later on, after this training is over, is sent to Dronacharya for training and he trains him. Not that he rejects and says that I will not train because you are going to kill me, because the Guru cannot deny. And then that one doubt goes away that he denied Eklavya, he denied Karna. The reasons were different. We also saw last time that Gandhari's character, and one point was to be completed, which we didn't cover last time, that how Gandhari had 100 sons and one daughter. Is it possible biologically? So here, we think, many of the people think, those who have not read Mahabharat or Ramayana, that we are very modern, we are very ultra modern, and then we know a lot of things and we don't believe in a lot of things. But if we read Mahabharat, we have to believe that they were much more advanced than us, because there was a niyoga where if the woman is not able to deliver or not able to get pregnant, then the man used to marry another woman. And if the man is not able to give son to women, then or he dies, then another man is called for that particular act. and children are produced. And the man has no right over the children, later on should not meet also. So it was very common practice. Not that only Ved Vyasji came. Otherwise, it would have been mentioned in Mahabharat many times. So one of the research point, those who want to study properly, is that if any important incidents happens, any statement is made, it has to be, coming in Mahabharat several times as a reference. Then it is confirmed that yes, it happened. That is one way to check. So how 100 sons were born? That is one topic we didn't cover. So Gandhari got pregnant here and she was not delivering. 9 months passed, 1 year passed. It seems that 1.5 years passed, 2 years passed. Also, the news came from the forest that Kunti has already delivered. So there is a jealousy. She gets very frustrated and she actually presses her stomach, or it has been said she gives one, big bang on her stomach herself. And she delivers, she finds that the delivery happens and she delivers a mass of lump only. A hard mass of, muscle lump. She gets extremely disappointed, fearful, frustrated that what happens. She invokes Ved Vyasji. Ved Vyasji comes there and say, don't worry, you already got a boon of 100 children, that will be fulfilled. So Ved Vyasji calls for 100 pots and then asks that this mass of lump should be cut into 100 and puts in the pot and fills that with ghee and then seals with a particular leaf. Gandhari says that, I also want one daughter. So then he puts one more pot and then 101 pots are kept in a particular place down where there is dark, and those are kept for 9 months. And after 9 months, 101 children are born. Now, today you might say, how is it possible? But today test tube babies are there, surrogate women are there, sperm banks are there. So those who are intelligent and educated, they understand, yeah, technology was there that time also. Technology is there now also. So this is how Gandhari's children were born. So now the training is over. All these children are around 16, 15. Last time also I had mentioned what is the approximate age difference between Yudhishthir, Bhima. one year, after one year they were born. And everyone is sent back to Bhishma, Hastinapur. People in Hastinapur become so fond of Pandavas because of their warriorship, warrior qualities, because of their humility. Then Dronacharya, it is a custom there that once the children return from the Gurukul, they have to display their skills. This is a very important incident where we have to destroy some myth. Because again, this is one favorite, myth. Those who are Karna lovers are there. Because in some regions, Karna is a hero. In actually Ved Vyasji's Mahabharat, Karna is a main villain, much more than Shakuni. So there, it is a king's display of skills and power just to show the world also that, we have to think from that perspective that unless they show skills, their warriorships, they will be attacked. Constant wars are going on. We all know this, that, when Lord Krishna killed Kamsa and took over Mathura, his greatest enemy was Jarasandha. Jarasandha was constantly attacking Mathura. He attacked 17 times. Lot of people were used to die in Mathura, innocent people. Then Krishna decided that to avoid these wars from Jarasandha, I will make another place as my own kingdom, and then Lord Krishna shifted to Dwarka because it is far off from Mathura. So Jarasandha was not able to reach so easily. So the point what I am making is that the kings had to be powerful. Otherwise, you are taken over, you are killed by neighboring countries. So the skill display is going on, and the entire Hastinapur is gathered. Bhishma Pitama, Dronacharya, everyone is gathered, and there enters Karna. Number one, without invitation. Second, he is not a king. You might say, no, no, then anyone can. No, you cannot. You can tomorrow, India-Pakistan war is going on, and you say, no, no, I go to, this Jatra, I go to some fair and I have got a revolver where I can break balloons. Please take me into Indian army. I will shoot Pakistanis. It is not like that. You are not a soldier. You are not a trained soldier. You are not a king. This is king display going on. So, but he is allowed to display his prowesses and his skills, and people say, wow. And then he says, I want to fight with Arjun. I want to have a war with Arjun. Then Dronacharya gets up and says, this is display of skill. This is not a war bhumi. And who are you to ask that I want to have a war with Arjun? This is not a place to have a war. This is a place to show skills. This is net practice going on. And then many people color this that because he was Sutaputra, he was denied. Duryodhan sees the potential here because now we all know that how Duryodhan is scared of Arjun. We also saw that Arjun and Bhim single-handedly had defeated Drupada, whom Karna, Duryodhan, Dushasan with 100 Kauravas they were not able to do that. So immediately Duryodhan appreciates Karna and makes him a king of Angadesh, from where he was. And then people say, no, no, Karna was always indebted to him for this. Yeah, Karna accepted his friendship, not because that he was fond of Duryodhan, but because he was jealous of Arjun. And then the display of the skills are over. Here, one point we have to note that Karna was not denied because he was Sutaputra to display. He was denied to have a war with Arjun, number one. Second, he was not denied Brahmastra from Dronacharya because he was Sutaputra. He was denied Brahmastra, which was not given by Dronacharya to even Arjun. Dronacharya gave Arjun Brahmashri Astra, which is not Brahmastra. Not because he was Sutaputra. Then we will see further that in Draupadi Swayamvar also some people say that Arjun, Karna was denied because he was Sutaputra. Not at all like that. Sanjay was a Sutaputra. Sanjay, he was blessed by Ved Vyasji. Kichaka of Virat, who was a Senapati, one of the greatest, when he was killed by Bhim, people knew in entire Bharatvarsha that Kichak can be killed only by Bhima. He was a Sutaputra. Ugra Sauti Rishi who told Mahabharat, actually this Mahabharat what we are having of Gita Press is actually they say it was Ugra Sauti Rishi told the Rishis in Naimisharanya. Ugra Sauti was a Sutaputra. So all these rights were there, otherwise there would have been references in Mahabharat that Sutaputra are like scheduled caste and they should be treated differently and they were not given equal opportunity. This is all somebody's creation of the mind. Because when we are doing research, we have to see what are the other references coming in Mahabharata. So now people in Hastinapur starts demanding that Yudhishthir should be made the prince. Duryodhana is burning from inside. We also saw that how he has tried to poison Bhima twice. Now he meets Karna. One more friend he gets. He also has Shakuni. He also has Dushasan. Now you have to make a note here that Duryodhan plans for burning them alive. And we say, oh, why, Lord Krishna told that, he created this war and lakhs of people died. This is what is dharma of Duryodhan. He wanted to burn alive the Pandavas along with Kunti. And very important point to note, this plan is told through Dhritarashtra and he silently agrees. So Mahabharat, they say that Duryodhan and Dushasan are the leaves and branches. The trunk is the Karna and the root is Dhritarashtra. Just imagine that Dhritarashtra is the king. He knows this plan and he agrees for it, and they make a plan of Lakshagraha, a palace made of lakh. So Purochan is sent by Duryodhan. The Purochan makes the palace so beautiful. From outside it looks like made of mud, but inside it is of lac, which is a highly inflammable material. Vidur comes to know about this plan. And we might say, no, how? But today also, if you see political assassinations happen, at time also political assassinations were happening. So Vidur comes to know about this plan and he informs, and the famous statement of Mahabharata, what Vidur says, that when the forest burns, everything burns, but the rat in the burrow is saved. I'll repeat, because they are supposed to go to Varnavrat forest. So Vidur says a statement, when the forest burns, everything burns, but the rat in the burrow is saved. So that is a code word given to Pandavas, that you do not stay in the palace, you stay in the burrow. And Vidur himself sends a digger there before, and the digger starts digging from other side, Kamyaka forest, and by the time Purochan builds, he is already connected the burrow. Even Shivaji Maharaj, until now we saw there were burrows. When the attack used to happen, they used to enter the burrow and go from other side and then escape. So Pandavas along with Kunti go there. At right time, Purochan is inside the palace, and it seems that there is one Adivasi woman who is a worker there with her 5 children. Are there, or only Purochan is there? Some versions are different. Pandavas themselves set the palace on fire and go inside the burrow and get out of the Varnavat forest and get into the Kamyaka forest. And the palace is burnt. And they find 5 children and 1 woman there. The entire Hastinapur goes into sorrow. Duryodhan rejoices. Very interesting point to note. Yudhishthir is very cold from outside, but his heart is warm. And Yudhishthir does the final funeral rites of all 6 people. Not Yudhishthir, sorry, Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra himself does the funeral rites. Such kind of king is there. He doesn't feel anything. Pandavas sent a message to Vidur, now what we should do? Shall we stay here or shall we attack? What we should do? He says, no, you stay there only. These people will again plan and will make your life miserable. So let us see what are their future plans. So you remain in hiding and let them believe that Pandavas are killed along with Kunti. So Pandavas stay in Kamyaka forest, their lives starts there in Kamyaka forest. Now, we also have to think that even if one little unfair thing happens, I do some job and somebody doesn't appreciate me also, I feel it was unfair, it was not justified, I didn't get justice. Now we see what Pandavas are going through, what is their mental state, how much Arjun is getting the ill treatment, unfair treatment from Kauravas. So much of unfairness. And he is the best warrior. He alone can defeat all Kauravas. So they start staying happily there. Kunti and Yudhishthir starts thinking what to do. Bhim used to go out and collect all the wood and material for eating because he loves food. And one day when he goes out, he comes across a Rakshas called as Hidim. He's a man-eater Rakshas. So he's saying, okay, I will eat you. Bhim says, come, come, we will fight. And then Bhim kills him. And then his sister comes there that you killed my brother. Now who will take care of me? You marry me. Because Hidimba likes Bhim very much. Bhim brings Hidimba to Kunti and Kunti blesses them. They marry by Gandharva Vivaha. Gandharva Vivaha means there is no ceremony, there is no ritual. The boy and girl are Raji, then kya karega Kazi? They marry. There is a saying like that. So they marry. And there is a historical movement happens. Ghatotkach is born. Ghatotkach. He is one of the main history happens around him. Because of him, Arjun is saved. Because Karna has to use Brahmastra and he has only one Brahmastra and he uses on him. And Ghatotkach is killed. So Ghatotkach is a very important element in Mahabharat war. If Ghatotkach would have been alive for 2 days more in Mahabharat war, he would have finished all Kauravas because he is a Rakshas. So Vedvyasi comes and says, it is not appropriate for you to stay now in Kamyaka forest. I will take you to another village, a little Nagar. So they come to Eka Chakra Nagar and put them in a Brahmin's family whom Vedvyasi knows. Now these Pandavas just see their plight. Who are they? They are kings. One of the best warrior, Chakravarti Samrat. They are living in a Brahmin's family. One day, they live there for a couple of weeks, months. One day they find that these Brahmins are very sad and discussing something on their own. They ask, what happened? You look to be very sad. They say, yeah, today is a sad day for us because there is a Rakshas in our village. We didn't tell you. And that Rakshas condition is that he will destroy our village if this condition is not fulfilled. What is the condition? Every week we have to send him 2 cart full of food and 1 human being. Now we are discussing, now today is our family's turn. So we are discussing whether husband will go, father will go, mother will go or son will go. So Kunti tells him, don't worry, my son will go. They say, no, how can your son will go? No, he is the best and he is the best food for that Rakshas whose name is Bakasur. So Kunti says, Bhim will go. So Bhim to rejoices because the policy with Pandavas is that all Pandavas will go for Bhiksha every day and they will bring the Bhiksha to home and Kunti will divide in such a way where half portion she will give to Bhim and balance half she will give to other 4. That is his capacity. So Bhimto is very happy, he sits with 2 carts and by the time he reaches Bakasur, we all know he eats both the carts. He is so happy. And then Bakasur says that, okay, where is my food? He says, food is over. And Bakasur says, you are very fat, I will eat you only. And then fight happens and Bakasur is killed by Bhim. This time also this news reaches Hastinapur and there is a discussion that Bakasur can be killed by Bhim only. Because there are CIDs going on. But he'd still have a doubt that it is not possible. Maybe somebody else would be there, one Brahmin. So the village rejoices, the Brahmin family rejoices, and Vedvyaji suggests that here you should not stay for long. After 1 or 2 weeks, you leave from here because these villagers will now keep coming to your place because you have saved their life. So one day when they are sitting and chatting in the evening, one visitor Brahmin comes from Kampilya capital, from Panchala region. And that Brahmin is telling the other Brahmins whose house is there that there is a Swayamvar going to happen. And now all Pandavas are listening, and this is a very important point. All Pandavas are listening. And then he starts describing that there is a girl there whose name is Krishna. Her eyes are like full bloom lotus petals. And she exudes, blue lotus fragrance. She is so divine. She is born from fire. All Devatas, Gandharvas, Yakshas are dying to marry her, make her their wife. She is so beautiful, so brilliant. And it is the entire Bharatvarsha is going to come there for this Swayamvar. And Kunti is observing all her 5 sons. There are 5 sons listening to this description of Draupadi are already captivated by Draupadi's description of beauty and intelligence. So Kunti says that she understands now this. Her children are captivated to see her. So she says, let us go to Kampilya. So all 5 of them, 6 of them go to Kampilya. And they request one potter that we want to stay with you. So they stay in a potter's house. And they see entire Kampilya is decorated hugely. Who's who? Who's who has come? Like, here Ambani's marriage here. Who's who comes from world and India. Similarly, there, who's who are there? And Pandavas are surprised. Karna is there from Anga region, Angadesh. Jarasandha is there from Magadha. Shishupal is there from Cheddi. Shalya is there from Madra. Duryodhan is there from Hastinapur. Krishna Balram are there from Dwarka. But they are not participants. They are guests invited by Drupada. And Drupada has put one challenge. In his mind, he wants Draupadi to get married to Arjun, but now this news which has come earlier, that Pandavas are burned in the forest along with Kunti. He is disappointed, but his heart has not fully accepted it. That a person like Arjun and Bhim can be killed like that so easily. So he has put one competition there in mind that only Arjun should be able to, if he's alive, only he should be able to, skillfully achieve this. So there is a machine which is hanged in the air, suspension, and that machine has 5 holes. And top of it, there is a golden fish. And down there is a water pot. And there is a bow and arrow kept there, which itself is very heavy. And the competition to win Draupadi is that the archer has to come there, and there is a small holes in that machine which are rotating. The machine is rotating in suspension, and the archer has to look down, and then all the 5 arrows should pass through the holes simultaneously and reach the fish. Not very easy. So it seems that all one by one are not able to complete. Even their arrow doesn't reach that, or one arrow reaches, it comes down, it breaks, it has to pass through those holes. So all lose. Now here we have to listen carefully. In many of the versions it is written Karna also fails. But in Ved Vyasji's Gita Press, which we are referring, only one sentence is mentioned by Draupadi, and again there is a note there that this sentence is falsely put later on. Because the sentence when Karna gets up for the competition, Draupadi says, Naham Varayami Sutaputram. I will not marry a Sutaputra. But in the bracket, it has been mentioned in Gita Press that this sentence is not tallying with any further references because this is a big open Swayamvar going on. If this sentence Draupadi would have uttered, then it would have been a chaos and other kings would have objected and later on discussed also. Even Karna doesn't mention this in any of the further conversations that she denied. So the truth is that Karna fails even to pass through the test. So all kings fail, and there Arjun gets up, who is in Brahmin Vesh right now. And when he gets up, there is an uproar in the Sabha that, oh, what kings like Shalya, Karna cannot do, what this Brahmin boy who lives on alms of the kings, because Brahmins are supposed to ask Bhiksha and they have to live. How can he do? And before everyone is, their chaos, murmur stops, Arjun quickly goes, lifts, like in Ramayana, what happens, Sri Ramji does in the same way, one shot he lifts, in one shot he puts the string, and he looks down, and in one shot the 5 arrows goes, and there is an uproar. Now here also we have to note very important point. When there is an uproar, Draupadi comes and garlands, and he holds her hands and starts going out. All the kings attack him, which is not dharma, because he has officially won her. Now, Bhim says to Yudhishthir that you take Nakul and Sahadev and go away, because if we all 5 are there, then people will recognize that these are 5 Pandavas. We both will manage. Yudhishthir hesitates, but then takes Nakul, Sahadev and goes away, goes home in the potter's house. Now here we have to note, Arjun and Bhim single-handedly defeat all kings. Jarasandha, we have to read who is Jarasandha. He was very powerful. He attacked Krishna 17 times. Shalya, Karna, Duryodhan, all get defeated, and Arjun and Bhim take Draupadi out. Now very important 2 points to note. Krishna and Balram are there. Balram also gets up. Krishna puts him down, says they are Pandavas, I know. Hold on. I have recognized Arjun and Bhim. And Arjun and Bhim take away Draupadi. Draupadi smiles because Arjun and Bhim are into Brahmin Vesh. She doesn't utter a word. She smiles and quietly goes away with them. That is also wisdom of Draupadi, because she internally maybe would have understood that they are not Brahmins, but still she has a doubt. So we have to note that Naham Varayami Sutaputram was not said, and Karna was not able to fulfill the competition, and he was given the chance and right to compete. So now they come back to the potter's place, and then out of humor, now they are very happy. They say to Mata Kunti that we have got Bhiksha. Out of humor, and without looking, Kunti says, distribute equally among yourselves. And when she realizes that it is Draupadi, she repents. She says, I want to take back my words. But now words are uttered. So now we have to pay attention and listen. Very interesting thing happens. Draupadi is standing there, five Pandavas are standing there, and all five Pandavas are captivated by her beauty. Not even one eyelid is going here and there. They are so mesmerized by her beauty, brilliance, fire is that they are not able to take their eyes off. And Kunti observes all these things, that my sons are now completely captivated by one Draupadi. Yudhishthir becomes aware and realizes that all brothers, including him, are smitten by Draupadi's beauty and brilliance. And there is one famous sentence in Mahabharata. He realizes that she can either bind all of them or break them apart. She has the power. Either Pandavas will fight with each other for her, or she will be one uniting force for Pandavas. So now Yudhishthir declares that all five of us will marry, because Dharma Sankat comes there, because Yudhishthir is elder to Arjun, and that marriage of Bhim and Hidimba was not a marriage, it was a Gandharva Vivaha. Without marriage, they were staying together, living relationship. So here is the official marriage. Now who will marry? Yudhishthir is not yet married. And if Yudhishthir marries, then it is going to be because Arjun has won actually her. Only Arjun marries, then other four, Yudhishthir realizes, will be falling apart, because he sees the kind of love, attraction in all Pandavas' eyes towards Draupadi. So Yudhishthir says that all five of us will marry her. And very important point, Gandhar, Draupadi looks at each Pandava and smiles at them. She doesn't say a word. She agrees unilaterally, not that she's been forced. And some people, again, this I have heard, no, she was forced to marry. No. If you read Mahabharat, she is not forced. If she would have said that, no, I will only marry Arjun, they would have had to accept, because he had won her, and Swayamvar is that she has to select. The condition of Swayamvar is that the girl has to select the boy, and she has the right to deny. So the Draupadi smiles. So there is one story which is not there in Ved Vyas's Mahabharat, but this is Pauranic story added later on, that Draupadi had prayed in earlier life that to Lord Shiva, that I want a husband like you. Lord Shiva told that is not possible. There cannot be one man like me, because I have several abilities. Then she says, no, I want virtuous, mighty, valorous, smart, intelligent. If you ask a woman what kind of husband you would like to have, she will say, okay, tall, dark, handsome, virtuous, must be caring, must be humorous, must be loving, must be compassionate, must be prosperous, must be smart, must be intelligent. So now it has been already mentioned in Puranas. Shivji told there is no one person who can have all these qualities. Neither one woman can have all many qualities. So this is a Pauranic story, not there in Ved Vyasi Mahabharata. Ved Vyasi's Mahabharata is very psychological and very human. So Draupadi agrees, smiles, and then Kunti comes and takes her inside and then starts explaining about one characteristics about one Brahmin. Still they have not told who they are to Draupadi. Draupadi listens to all of that very, very, very carefully, and internally she realizes they are not ordinary Brahmins, they are Pandavas. And she is very happy. Because who will get Pandavas as their husband? They are mighty, they are having all qualities. So here Drishtadumna and Drupada also comes to know that it has been agreed that Draupadi will marry five. So Drupada doesn't agree. Father says, how can my daughter marry my daughter? I wanted her to marry Arjun. I don't want my daughter to marry five husbands. Yeah, there were kings who were having many wives, but there are not much references where one woman has married five. So now Yudhishthir comes because Yudhishthir is Dharma, Shastra Praveen. So there are a lot of dialogues of Yudhishthir here. So Yudhishthir convinces Drupada that these are the references he gives. That this is how when one woman married three husbands, one woman married 10 husbands, one woman married two husbands. So it was there. Not that this is the first time Draupadi is marrying. Vedvyashi comes because Drupada is not agreeing because without father's permission again she cannot marry. So Vedvyashi comes and then tells us that this is the right thing to happen. Now we have to note that Karna and entire Kauravas were not able to defeat Drupada. Arjun and Bhim were able to defeat Drupada and bring him to Dronacharya. Drupada's description is there in Mahabharat. He was next to Hastinapur. Only Bhishma Pitama was there, so it was not possible. So now just imagine Drupada's happiness. Drupada is a very, very, very powerful king. And now he is getting alliance of Arjun and five Pandavas. So who will become powerful? Drupada plus Pandavas become Chakravarti Samrat. Nobody can beat them. So they both agree, and then the marriage happens. Narada comes there and makes a rule. He says, I am giving a rule that Draupadi will stay 1 year with one husband. And when she is staying 1 year with one husband, other four intentionally or unintentionally should not go into the private chamber of both of them, whoever she is staying with. This is a rule. Why we are mentioning this? Because this rule unintentionally is broken by Arjun later on. Because one Brahmin comes and he wants some nyaya and his shastra are kept inside the chamber where Yudhishthir, and that here is Yudhishthir and Draupadi, and he goes inside knowing it or unintentionally, but he accepts those 12 years of Vanvas, those who breaks the rule, and he takes that. But during that Vanvas of 12 years, he visits all Bharatvarsha, marries Chitrangada, Upula and Krishna's sister Subhadra, from whom Abhimanyu is born. By the way, Draupadi has five husbands. All other husbands also marry later on, other wives are there. And she used to enter fire after 1 year and then go to another husband. She was very happy. Some people who do not read Mahabharat carefully and they have some women kind of thinking, they say Draupadi was victim, Draupadi was forced. Not at all. Draupadi was very happy. We will see later on who was Draupadi and her greatness. Because there is one incident comes in Mahabharat where Indraprastha happens. At that time we will see. It is a very interesting episode which is not known to many people. I don't know whether it was shown in detail in the B.R. Chopra's Mahabharat also. So here in Hastinapur, Kauravas realize that Pandavas are alive. And now with Draupadi as a common bond, they discuss with Karna, Shakuni, Dushasan that it will be difficult to break their team spirit because Draupadi will be their center who will bind them. And that is what exactly happens. Draupadi is a center for them who always motivates them, who always reminds them, and who keeps them on the path of dharma. So now Pandavas are alive. Dhritarashtra also feels ashamed. He calls Pandavas along with Draupadi and Kunti, and a deal is struck. Now you see, this deal also is unfair. Actually, Yudhishthir is the eldest. He should get Hastinapur. But there is a lot of discussion happens between everybody. And what is the deal? They say there is one Hastinapur will remain with Duryodhan. We are giving you Khandav Prastha, Khandav forest. It's a dry land which was earlier empire of Kurus, but nothing grows there because of some sharp in stories and Puranas, but not there in Ved Vyas's Mahabharat. Khandav Grastha is all rocky region, forest, nothing grows. If nothing grows, no water, no prosperity, that land is given to Pandavas. Pandavas look at each other. Krishna also is there. Krishna says, take it. Don't worry. I am coming with you to Khandav Prastha. And that is where the bond starts between Krishna and Arjun. So Krishna along with Pandavas go to Khandav Prastha and say, we will burn this forest first of all. All dry, 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 nothing grows. So Krishna invokes Agni Devata, very important point to note. And now Agni Devata is going to burn the forest. Before the Agni Devata starts burning the forest, there is one Danav tribe, Adivasi tribe. Danav tribe lives there. In that there is one leader called as Maya. Maya comes and requests that please allow us to run away from here. We will flee before you burn. Krishna says, yes, allowed. But before that, you have to build a palace for us. They are all Mayavi Danavas. So, this Maya builds a very beautiful palace of illusion. Indraprastha is built. Indra comes. Arjun is Indra's putra only. Creates Indraprastha. One of the beautiful, most beautiful, more beautiful than Hastinapur, they build a Rajya. And Agni Devata says, okay, my job is over, I am going. Then, but Agni Devata, before going back, gives Lord Krishna Sudarshan Chakra, it is been mentioned. Earlier also he had. And Agni Devata gives Gandiva with unending arrows supplied to Arjun. And that way Indraprastha is established. Pandavas are happy. 36 years they rule there. 36 years. In that year, we will see how Draupadi manages 5 of them. When they are living in Indraprastha for 36 years, this episode of Arjun happens where he unintentionally goes into the private chamber, and in that 12 years he goes out. So after some years, they do Rajasuya Yajna. Rajasuya Yajna means the king becomes the emperor. Emperor of the entire Bharatvarsha. No, he becomes undefeated. So Yudhishthir becomes the Chakravarti Samrat. No one can object him, no one can defeat him. Here you can see Arjun and team is burning. In that Rajasuya Yajna, when that celebration happens, Shishupal comes. And there they are going to honor Lord Krishna. He says, how can one Gopal who is to, look after cows and he has built one Dwarka kingdom and you are honoring him, he should not get the highest position in Rajasuya Yajna. So he abuses Bhishma and Krishna. Bhishma is wondering why Krishna is not doing anything. Krishna holds his hand, wait till Shishupal completes 100 abuses, he waits. तो घड़ा अभी पूरा भरा नहीं है. And this answers other things, many questions many people ask, so many papa somebody is doing but not getting caught as politician, as a murderer. But then here is one example that अभी उसका घड़ा भरा नहीं है. And the moment he completes 100, very important point in entire Sabha, everybody is watching. Lord Krishna takes out Sudarshan Chakra and Sushupal is killed. So Sushupal is no ordinary person. Though here direct fight doesn't happen, Shishupal and Dantavakra are Jai Vijay. Dantavakra is killed by Lord Krishna. In Ramayana time, Ravan and Kumbhakarna are Jai Vijay. And then Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha are Jai Vijay, who are Dwarpal of Vishnuji. They are only taking birth, and so Avatar comes to relieve them. So Rajasuya Yajna is done, and then Pandavas rule for 36 years there. And then we will see in the next episode what happens in these 36 years and destroy one important myth next time, where many people believe that in that palace of illusion, Duryodhan comes and falls in water and everyone laughs and Draupadi says, Andhe ka putra andha. And that is the root cause of Mahabharat. But actually in Ved Vyas's Mahabharat, this sentence is not there only. Draupadi is not present only there when he falls. These are all imagination of some people who have kept. Very important why we are taking this itihas, because we should know our real itihas. Draupadi was not responsible for creating Mahabharat. Dhritarashtra is the core. Karna is the trunk. They had the power to alter the war, but they didn't do it. So we will see what happens in Indraprastha and then the famous dice game and Vastraram next time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.